Welcome back, friends, to my Let's Play for Starbase Closed Alpha. Last we left off, we went on an adventure into the asteroid belt in search of rares. We found one type, Arcanium I think it's pronounced, and we got a decent amount of that and some other stuff we do need. But we never found Xhalium or Corazium or Plutonium, which are the three remaining materials I need for making some of my ships. So, first thing I did today is I flew out deep into the asteroid belt. We are sitting at about... it's a little hard to read that. There it is. 719,000 meters, 719 kilometers along the Y from our original point of origin station. Kind of went out a diagonal here too, so it's a little bit a little bit further from origin station than just that amount. So hopefully we'll start seeing those valuable asteroids. I hear you got to be at least 500 to really start seeing them. So I am gonna go ahead and dive us down in there and see what we see. We don't have a lot of propellant left for making the return trip. I mean, we're getting close to using it up, so we're going to want to make sure not to spend too much of our remaining propellant looking for asteroids, just to make sure we have plenty to make the return trip. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out, because slowly flying into this asteroid field is probably not going to be that entertaining. Once I get in there, I'll maybe brief us as we get back in, and then we'll probably kind of start and stop the footage as we find things of interest. So, I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, we have entered the asteroid field proper. So now we can start looking at asteroids and seeing what they have to offer. We just entered, so maybe we want to go a little bit further in just to try and make sure we're in the core of things. Heck, there's some Titan asteroids over. We'll head in that direction in general, it looks like. Right down there, some Titan asteroids. We'll just keep our eyes open for any especially large-looking asteroids in the distance. Oh, we check out this one right here. On turtle mode, so we don't accidentally run into stuff. We're less likely to accidentally overshoot it. Alright. Closer. Pop out. Looks like mercurium, unfortunately. Yep, nothing interesting. Alright, onward. I think we saw them down here, right? The Titans. That. I think that's just a regular asteroid. It's just the sunlight on it makes it look like it's really thin. Starting to lose my orientation here. Keeping our eyes open. Trying to see if there's any particularly large asteroids other than those Titans in the distance. Maybe go investigate. Is that a Titan? That's got to be a Titan, right? Or is that a class 10 or 11? Oh, that might be a class 10 or 11. Let's check it out. Ooh, too fast. It is a class 10 or 11. Woo! Look at all that euconium. Unfortunately, not something we're looking for, but there is certainly a lot of it in there, isn't there? That's one of the biggest asteroids I've seen so far. how do you alt and mouse wheel? There we go. Pretty big. Alright, well we found ourselves a giant asteroid. Feel accomplished in that regards. Question is how common are they now that we're this far out? We check out a few more asteroids around here. How about this guy right here? See what they have to offer. It's like Bastium. Yep. Just some normals. See something over here. What's that? It's another regular asteroid, it looks like. Xhalium, not very much. It's a small one. Ugh, we're getting into that thick ink that I hate so much. I am looking forward to them, at least I'm hoping they're going to rework it, because right now the current asteroid fields are not where I would like them to be. Too much of this inky blackness. I just dislike that very much. Elite Dangerous is a good example of really good asteroid fields that feel like, you know, dust clouds. They make it obscure to see things, but not so much that it's not fun to fly through. As it is right now, it's not super fun to fly through these. Let's check a few more asteroids here. If we're not finding anything particularly interesting, then I might just cut away. It's like Xhalium. Oh, too far. Yep. And then I'll get back to you guys. So, do we want to do it now, or do we want to wait? Like Merconium. Yep. Alright, so I think we'll cut away, and then I'll be back if I find anything particularly interesting, like maybe some Titanic asteroids, more class 11s, or any of the rare ores that we're searching for. So I will see you in a bit. And we're back. Unfortunately, I was not successful in finding the materials we needed. I did find a few things, like this Hydrate crystal, which I don't think is very valuable, and Arcanum, which is one of the more valuable ores to sell to the station. Found some Tangium, Xhalium, not that valuable. Carnite crystals, again, not that valuable. The Tangium is at least useful for building. We need more of that for building. But unfortunately, we did not find any Corazium or Xhalium, which are, I think, the two hardest materials to find in the game right now. Hopefully, they'll continue to work at rebalancing things to make life make it a little bit more interesting. As of right now, I'd say the asteroid gameplay is kind of wanting. There's no real good reason to come out deep into the asteroids except for those couple of rare materials. And there's just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel fun. I mean, it's very micromanaged. You gotta pull up to these small asteroids and mine them, get them into your containers. There's just something not quite right. Not quite what you one would envision with mining asteroids. I think maybe it's just that the asteroids are so small. Maybe when you get further out, they should have only larger asteroids that have multiple materials in them, which might increase the odds of finding the material you're looking for as you check each rock, versus, you know, having to go up each small asteroid only has a maximum of one material, so your odds of finding the right material when it's rare is very slim. So maybe an idea to throw out there to throw some bites. You know, large asteroids for deeper in the asteroid belt that have more than one material type would be cool. And then I have heard talk of doing other stuff like giving asteroid materials yields so that the better asteroids further out into the asteroid belt would have better yields. You know, making it more valuable, giving them more of a reason to travel further out to find materials. Which that's certainly a good idea, especially once they get into metallurgy and those yields might matter. You know, it's passable right now, but it definitely needs some improvements to make it fun. I would say probably the game with the best mining is Space Engineers and Elite Dangerous. Space Engineers has the best voxel mining, where you have to actually create a drill and drill into the asteroid and mine out those voxels, which get turned into items. That's a lot of fun. And they're large asteroids, and they're very rare, so you know you don't have to go to each individual one. You just find one, fill up, and then return. I don't know if that would translate well to Space Engineer, or not Space, Starbase. The other one that I think is really good is Elite Dangerous after their mining update, where you can crack asteroids. That is a ton of fun. Again, I don't know how that would translate to Starbase. I don't know, maybe with those Titan asteroids, perhaps some of the juicy fruit you're looking for out in the deeper asteroid are these Titans that you can crack open to get materials. The only question is would they have just like higher yield material, better versions of that of the common material, or would they you know, just have a separate material that's rare and sells well? Because all the material in the game is supposed to be usable for crafting. And I think that's where that balance is a little bit difficult. You got to make everything common enough that people can get it and build their ships, but you also want there to be ores that are rare so people can make money off of buying and selling it. So it's kind of yeah, I don't know. Some work needs to be done, I just don't know exactly what yet. But we are going to get ourselves out of the asteroid here. We are running low on propellant. Hopefully we will make it back to the safe zones at the very least. If not back to Origin Station. Yeah, so I will probably cut away now that we're exiting the asteroid field here, and then as we get back to Origin Station I'll cut back in, and then we'll probably do a preview of the SSC ship I've been working on. I got it a lot further than it was last time you saw it. Got most of the fuselage, cockpit, and thrusters all ready to go. It's mainly just the front part of the ship needs to be finalized. So I will see you guys when we get back to Origin Station, or if anything interesting happens in the meantime. See you then. Well, nothing too interesting has happened, although we are running desperately low on fuel. We're down to like the last 740,000 propellant units, and we're down to the last, what, fourth, a third of our fuel rods, and we're still quite a ways out. So hopefully we'll make it. I guess otherwise we'll have to record our position, and then I'll have to grab like a Vizima or something that can get out here with some fuel and refill it. So let's see how far we get. So we're back. Still have fuel left. I can finally see the stations in the distance, so we're getting close to them. We're still a ways away though, so the question is whether or not that 570,000 fuel units will get us back to Origin Station, or at least one of the outlying stations. That is definitely the question. So I will keep you apprised of my progress. We're getting so dang close. We're like halfway there now. But we only have 300,000 fuel units left. I think we might just make it. We'll see. Well, we just entered the safe zone, so at least we don't have to worry about somebody stealing our ship. So now I just have to figure out a way, we just have to see if we can make it. And if we don't, we'll just have to fly back and refuel. So it's not so bad. But let's see if we can make it. I think we might just make it. Alright, we have just about made it. It's gonna be close. Or it is really close. We're down to like our last, I don't even know what the percentage would be. 60,000 out of 5 million? Not very much left. See if we can get ourselves to the nearest ore tower here so we can refuel the propellant. Come on, baby. You got this. We got this. We got plenty of fuel left. Look at that. It's like I planned it perfectly when I left the ore belt. So we'd have just enough fuel to get back. Look at that. Perfect. All right, let's link up here. And first things first, we need propellant. Look at that, 41,000 out of 5 million. There we go. So ship, anything worth selling. So the Carnite Crystal. Carnite Crystal is worth more than average, which is 93,000. Xhalium is average. Tangium we need to keep. So the Hardrite Crystal, I don't think we need that for anything. So I think we're just going to sell the Hardrite Crystals. And then probably the Carnite Crystals. I don't think we need those. At least we got a little bit of money out of our trip. We don't need Valkyrite or Agitite. We got plenty of Arcanium already. That one's definitely by far the most valuable at 139,000 per stack. So, you know, got a decent amount of Xhalium. I don't think we need too much of it though, but we'll hang on to it for now. The Tangium we definitely need for shipbuilding, so we'll hold on to that. Go ahead and transfer those to my station inventory. There we go. And then we shall adjourn. Oh, did we empty the whole thing? Yeah, we sure did. We shall adjourn ourselves. I'll have to replace the fuel rods, which isn't too hard. Just buy new fuel rods, sell your old fuel rods on the station marketplace, which is like an NPC marketplace. Let's see, there it is. So let's go show off my new ship that I've been working on. Like I said, it's mostly done. It's even flyable, but I still need to work on the front end of it to make it look a little nicer, and to add some, what would you call them? At-4 engines for if for some reason you need to back up or slow down very quickly, then that's what 4 engines would be used for. So you don't technically need them because of space drag that slows the ship down. You don't really need 4 engines, but they can be handy if for some reason you're really up close to something to the point where you can't even pitch or roll or yaw. You just need a backup, then that's definitely what you'd want those 4 engines for. So then let's hop into here, and I will load up my warship that I've been working on. The other thing I've been envisioning, but I haven't really started construction on it, whoops, sorry, hit my mic, is a heavy fighter. But I haven't gotten into that yet. And I know that combat's not especially balanced right now. The railgun is like, I guess, uberly powerful, and you can fit it on really small spaceships, so it's just not very fair. But won't worry about that right now. Let's show off our ore ship that I've been working on. So it's based off of the last one I did. But I wanted to enhance it a little bit, do a little bit better with the amount of space that we're using up in the fuselage here. So I just went ahead and did is just made this whole front fuselage here just pure cargo crates. So inside of these red boxes, I think I already explained this, but there's 2 groupings of 3x3 crates. because I know in the future they're planning on releasing larger modular crates, and I don't know if there's any benefit to having the larger sizes. But those 3x3s is one of the sizes of the new crates that they're working on. So we'd be able to remove those 3x3x3 ore crates and just replace them with one of the 3x size. Two per cargo container here. So each of these cargo containers holds a total of 54 ore crates. So we got a total of 108 here on this ship. I finished off the ship fuselage, the actual part that holds all the ships. Connected the nacelles and added aft engines. So those are all hooked up and functioning. Actually, I can just give a quick tour of the ship in test mode. I still think I'm tweaking, if I remember correctly where I last left off, I'm still tweaking the engines and thrusters a little bit, but they're getting closer to being done. Got a little hatch here. Oh, I gotta change that button style to toggle instead of hold. There's our flight computer, and then the main flight computer, or flight control, main flight computer. Got our nice little dash here. Our panels that are going to be set up for ISAN and velocity. I think I'm also going to put in the heading one because that would help knowing which direction you're going inside the asteroid field when you're in the midst of it. And it's just that black blob. So let's see, how's our maneuverability right now? Oh, something's not locked down right. I can hear it groaning. We'll have to look and see what's detached and figure that out. But let's do a quick tour. So here's our aft engines. The nacelles are just outside. I don't have an access port for them right now, so I just have the pipes and the cables going through the plates. I didn't bother to use plugs on this. It's just going through a 12 centimeter plate and didn't think it was worth it. Just got a couple batteries right now. I'm setting up engines, or I should say generators, so we definitely need those to power our engines. And then there should be enough space in here to get enough power to power mining lasers in the future if I want to upgrade it. And we got two medium propellant tanks, which holds 10 million for the modulus for how far we went today, which was out to about 700 Y plus quite a bit X. And then we took a really long tour there, a circuitous route on our way back as I was trying to figure out which direction I needed to go. And that was 5 million for 6 thrusters. This guy has twice as many thrusters, so I would imagine having 2 of these should get us at least the same distance. So we might upgrade and add maybe 4 fuel canisters. And then we just want to have them balanced, though. That's the key thing, because we want to balance across the ship to make the engines as efficient as possible, because if your ship is all heavy on one side, your thrusters will have to do a lot of extra work to make sure it's flying straight, and we don't want to do that. So you want to make your ship as mirrored as possible across its center of mass. Yeah, so there's that. Not much else to see here. I haven't put in the YOLO stuff yet. Got to do that. Gonna add the ISAN navigational relay thingies up there in the front. Obviously this button needs to get fixed. I love the design here of these nacelles. I think they look pretty nice. They can use some more decorations and colors, but other than that, I think they're looking pretty good. We got our side panels here. I'm gonna put some more plates in between there, but these are I think are pretty much finalized to how they're gonna look. They're kind of bare bones, but I thought it kind of looks neat that way, kind of like scaffolding on some of the NASA stuff, where they just have scaffolding, they don't even bother with plating. So then the part that's still unfinished is the front. So as it is right now, I could potentially add another canister on front, so that we'd have a total of 162 some cargo crates here, if I'm doing my math right. So that would be quite a good haul if we get out to the deep parts and get the valuable stuff like arcanium. That stuff's valued about 139,000. So 112 times 110,000. So that would probably come out to like a 12 million haul if we fill the whole thing with that sort of stuff. Otherwise, if we just go by the minimum amount, which is the value of ores like Bastium at 93,000, that still comes out to around, if we do this amount of crates, it still comes out to like 9 million a trip, 9 or 8 million a trip. And then if we add another one, that's almost 12 or 13 million. So not bad for our single trip out there. It'll take a while to fill, but it should be pretty fun. The only thing that concerns me is because I have the interior cockpit. I was thinking about that today as we were going out and exploring. Is these sort of cockpits are not very conducive to mining right now, simply because you can't scan the asteroids as you're flying. I figured out a way that you could do that, which was if you have your universal tool up and then sit down in your cockpit, you can still fly the cockpit and then go by asteroids and see what material are without having to get out of your pilot seat. So hopefully soon they'll have some sort of like range finder or something you can point at an asteroid to see what it's made up of, just like with the universal tool. But for now, we're just gonna have to get out of the ship and check which asteroids. But maybe since we got this big beastie hauler, what we could do is we just fly into the deep end, find ourselves a class 10 or 11 asteroid, and just fill it up with, like 10 stacks just from that one asteroid. And we'll hopefully get better at identifying those asteroids as well. So yeah, things are looking pretty good here. Let's look at the budget of it. Because we should have the majority of materials. I think it's mainly Xhalium, which is pretty common further out. So I don't have any issues getting that. Tangium is a little bit rare to find, but I've been grabbing it wherever I see it. So we have a pretty decent stockpile so far. Let's see what is left to purchase or to get. So we need more Vocarium, but that stuff's not terribly difficult to find. I was seeing that stuff out there. We need more Xhalium, which we need quite a few stacks of it. But again, it was pretty common out there once you get further out. So I'm not afraid of being able to get that many stacks. The ones that are difficult, though, is the Corazium, the Plutonium, and I don't see, it's not all here yet, the full list, because we don't have any yellow stuff. I think the yellow stuff is what gets you on the Xhalium. So we have almost everything we need. As it stands right now, we need Plutonium, Corazium, and then a bunch more Xhalium, and of course credits. 16 million credits to build it. But we still have a ways to go to finish this guy off, and then that'll raise the price a little bit further, so we might need a few more materials. But just to give an instance of how valuable, how expensive those rare ores are right now, let's head over to the marketplace and take a look. So inside the marketplace, it's loading up here, there is a auction house where you can buy stuff from other players. Unfortunately, the Xhalium and Corazium is like the only valuable materials, really. That and like Arcanium, but that one's easier for me to find. I've found quite a bit of that so far. But those, I guess, are some of the more ultra hard to find ones. And for that reason, come on, load up. You can do it. You got this. There it goes. But yeah, the last I checked, they were going for like 5 or 7 million for one stack, but you don't need very much of it. But they only come in one stack, unfortunately. So looking for ores. So yeah, Xhalium is 12 million right now. Corazium is 10 million. And then Arcanium is 1 million, which I have quite a bit of that. Maybe I'll put a few of those on the market in case somebody needs it. And then otherwise everything else, Hatterite crystals, I don't even know what those are used for, but they're worth a fair amount for a stack. Almost 10 times as much per stack. Anything else worth selling here? Xhalium, Corazium. I haven't found any of this before. Lucium. Nor the Plutonium. Arcanium we found. We just found those Hatterite crystals. I don't know if anybody actually buys those though. Gerodium. Apparently people buy Gerodium. I guess because it's good for decent for armor. Xhalium people buy as well, or at least they're selling it for that much. I don't know if anybody's buying it for that price. I would assume so. I'm surprised onium is not going for more than charodium, since onium is much better material for armor plating. You take a lot more hits. Everything else is pretty close to its actual value. Just sell it to the station. So, do we have enough to buy a stack of plutonium? We do. So we'll buy 1 stack. That way we at least have it, and we can say we don't need it. So then these guys, though, we might just have to grind our way up. Because at this point, I think that's probably going to be easier than spending multiple hours trying to fly to the 700-kilometer range to try and have a small chance of finding Xhalium. Granted, if we did find it, we'd probably find more than 1 stack, and then we could sell it for a decent amount of money. But on the other hand, you know, how many hours would it take us just to fly the modulus out and mine up Bastium or something and resell it and easily, you know, I mean, the modulus has like what, 24 some crates, so it's like, well, it has more than 24, doesn't it? I don't remember how many crates, but it's at least around, you know, like 2 to 3 million per trip. It'll take like 10 trips, but each of those trips is going to be significantly shorter than trying to fly all the way out. Because today, I flew out almost first thing today when I started playing, and it took about probably an hour and a half to get to the 700 range, and then I was searching for probably an hour and a half before I started to run low on fuel. Yeah, like I said, the mining situation definitely needs some rebalancing to figure things out. It might not be so bad if you could at least have like some sort of remote way of viewing what materials are in an asteroid without having to fly super close to them, because it was probably out there. I just didn't know which asteroid it was in, and I probably just didn't happen to fly to one that had it. So how many... come on, load in. Load in, buddy. A little slow today. Oh no. Oh dear. Got stuck in my ship there for a second. Let's see, so how many approximately... Oh, we lost the... Wasn't there a white thing that went over the top of this? Yeah, I must have got busted off when I was flying by the asteroids. It sounded like something got hit, but I guess that's what got hit. We'll have to repair that sometime. So let's see. I'm gonna go ship storage. Just trying to think of what would be the easiest way to see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So yeah, we got like 26 or so ore crates, so that's, you know, times 0.9, that's going to be around 2 million per trip. So not a great haul, but it's probably a hell of a lot better than trying to fly out to the deep end to find this stuff. So again, I don't know, you know, it's not done yet. Hopefully they'll start making more changes now that we're past the holidays. They'll get things a little better balanced, tweaked and balanced better. Maybe they'll start adding some more useful devices that will help us mine. Some industry. I'd love to get into industry with building like a lot, and then building factories for producing like ingots and the components for building devices, you know, that sort of stuff. I feel like that would be a lot of fun. But we'll have to see how things pans out in the future. So I guess in the meantime, I'll try and earn up enough money so we can put that ore ship out there, and then maybe start working on a heavy interceptor. Might do a little bit of a let's play while I build that out next. If you have any suggestions for like tutorials or anything that you'd like to see for Starbase or gameplay examples, just let me know in the comments, and I would be happy to see if I could make that happen. So again, thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys had some fun, even though it wasn't too exciting. And I hope to see you guys on the next episode. Bye-bye.